right now, I'm trying to figure out what size this should be. I don't want to start yet. I want to figure out what size this should be. And do note that you see the angle coming in here onto the left side and onto the right side, right? If we were looking at this, right, what angle should it be on? I'm going to get with you in a minute. I'm thinking, I'm coming here. It's all about what I'm thinking. You know, if you watch somebody do some work and it's going to be long and boring, and well, this is what I do. I draw things out. I write things up. I stare at them for a couple hours and I go to bed frustrated. Ça, c'est qu'est-ce que je fais. J'écris des choses. Je peux pas décider. Il faut que je laisse l'univers dire à moi la vérité de mon dessin. Or anything that I do, the universe already has the answer. And sometimes there's more than one answer, and that's why I think I can never choose, because sometimes both are right. It depends. I mean, if I'm going this way, it's right, and if I'm going that way, it's correct. You know what I'm saying? So this, we have this, and then we're gonna go and do this side over here. Where should this Y be? Right? What is the structural size? But I will show you. Okay, inside of here, this area, if you take a look, there's a whole square. So I have full separation, two half separations. Should I go over here and make this thicker, or is one cell enough inside of this? The other piece is, should I be splitting this down the center? What story is it going to tell me? Does it now give me dimension or angle from this design? Is it 7 looking at 7 when we come in this design? Can I be ending the Y over here? Or should I actually create the Y? 1, 2, 3. Should I go by 3 or should I go by 4? There's a difference when going by 3 and by 4. With 3, 1 area, 2 areas, 3 areas, this is my center. My center automatically must be this separation of space. If I was going in 2, I can split this in half. Otherwise, I have the top part of what is the cross. Is that, what story is that telling me? And now I'm going to go up here, and now I'm going to come out here, one shot, and I'm going to come over here, right? And I'm going to come down here, go up here, around here. And can I use this as the V? If I use this as the V, no matter what I do, I still must do this. I must do this over here in order to give it the full dimension. So we're going to remove this over here. So once I do that, my question is, how far down do I go? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is one area. So if we're going to start over here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I do the legs. Should it be done this way, the Y, or that way, the Y? Or is the wet legs too long? Should it have been done to here? Or should the legs have been done to here? So if I show you this one, right? You see that? Comes over to this side. And this comes over to this side. Now I can create my Y this way. When it's created this way, this is the earth part of creation. When I create it this way, this is the Mars part of creation. The reason for that is Mars has a central line that splits through it. It splits in between the areas, the cells. On Earth, It does not. There is no center. It's either here or it's here. Mars is a direct division. This is a split division over here. So let's see if I wrote this out properly. The second thing about this is, should I be putting this end over here and not having the end over here? Let me show you again. We're going to take here, here, and we're going to go to here, right? Let me see it. 1, 2, 1, 2 at the top. Then we're going to come down here. Did I get that right? 3. Did I get that right? 1, 2. See, if I stop here and go around that way, it won't be the same thing, right? If I went around this way, it'll show you something else. I'm going to come up here, right, like that. And then I'm going to run down this way. This way I get the distance of a full cell over here. So then when I do that, it's got to be by 2. Well, I don't like touching, right? And then this will be a full cell coming down to here, coming down to here. Now the question is, do we do it one area or should I drop 2 areas? Now the question would be, if I would be putting a Y flipped on this, I can show 2 areas over here. I'm going to try and explain something. Remember, there's 1 separation here and there's 2 separations here, possibly because there's another Y that's going to be flipped over for this. I'm just wondering if I can take a picture. Just give me a second. $19.29. Take a look at your clock. $19.29. I need to take a picture. No. No. Okay. Yes. Yes. Boy, where's my name? Just hold on a second. Oh, note to self. I'm going to take a picture. Let me see if I got that right. Now I'm going to go online. Just give me a second. I'm going to go online. I can get this window open here. Go to note to self. All right. That's that grandfather thing. Where's note to, oh, I didn't send it. There, it's going to pop up in a second. There it is. So now I'm going to go here, copy it. I'm going to come down here. I didn't want to go in here. I'm going to open up a new one. I'm going to explain this in a minute. It's going to create a new board here and paste this here. So there we have the Y. Let me make this a little smaller. I want to see my camera in the background. Just give me a second. There you go. Okay, just let me pick this up. Whoop, just lost my camera. Give me a second over here. Okay, now I see I got a message. 2 R's backwards, back to back. Make an arrow. Yes, or facing each other. I mean, yes. Mirrors. Yes, yes, yes. The famous. If you want, we can work with the bunny rabbit, right? The double-eared bunny rabbit, right? The Playboy bunny rabbit. We can have the Playboy bunny rabbit, right? The Playboy bunny rabbit here, or we can have the R and then the R backwards, back to back. Is that what you were talking about? And then we can get that Y over here. The R back to back makes an arrow. Back to back makes an arrow. Hold on a second. I've seen that before. I'm just trying to remember which way it goes. Right. And we can also see it as the TV antenna. Right. At the same time, we have the M at each corner, and then we can we have the stop sign that comes from the R as well. And then we can make the R's facing each other, right? Oh, that's what you wanted to say, facing each other, right? Is that what it is? It's facing each other. is the arrow. Is that, did we get that? That arrow over here, this arrow here, taking this arrow here. So that means I would end up with the L over here and the L over here. Then I would maybe put that arrow inside over here, right? Is that the one you're talking about? So we can put that R together. It also looks like a duck. I like to think that the R also looks like a duck. If you put it here and you create the R, it looks like a duck. You put the I inside of here and then we got that duck over here. We can also look at this as in the Olympics, right? You put that block, you know, that T block over here, and then the gold sits over here between this T block. And then on one side is the silver, and on the other side is the bronze. And both in silver and in bronze is a tincture of gold. There's a gold and silver tincture inside of bronze. And when you play hockey, all four teams in the quarterfinals were only runner-up. All four teams were runner-up. Two of the teams, okay, that played, one of them played the silver team, the other one played the gold team. When there's a tournament and you're in the quarterfinals, there's the quarterfinals, and then there's the semifinals, and then there's the finals. So here you have 2, here you have 4, here you have 8. And in the semifinals, all these 4 teams were bronze, so they all picked up an 80. The team that fell to silver, okay, then picks up an 85, and then the team that finished in gold picks up a 38. Okay, 8, 16, 19, 203, or 8, 16, 19, 14 if you want, 5. So what happens is it doesn't matter if you're bronze, silver, or gold, because if you're bronze, 80 equals to 8. If you're silver, which is number 85, it's still going to equal to 8. And if you're gold, 38, it's still going to equal to 8 because the math does it. 3 times 8, 24. 3 plus 8, 11. 11 and 24, 35. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 85. 8 by 5, 40. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 and 40 equals to 53. You see that? 53, 35, 88. 4 and 4 equals to 8. And then 80, well, is 80 is 8. So they all pass through 8. They all talk about 8 within themselves. So now when we get back to this one over here, right, what I was saying before is once you take this, you see that over here? We're only going to take half of it, right? So once you mirror it, okay, again, what happens is I flip it, right? And there, boom, I connect it together. Now it becomes the double cross. Can I get this a little bit bigger? Yeah, we can do that a little bit bigger. So now we have the crossing. Now my question is, should we be taking, understanding or recreating an I inside of this? If we did create the I, where would we create it inside of this? Would it be here? Would we create the I here? Hold on a second. I'm gonna do this. And then we just put up another one, let's say over here. And then what we do is we have the third one over here. And what it is, when it becomes the I, what happens? It also becomes the E world. The I connects what is the H, but it becomes the E world, 2 worlds connected together through one side. Now, we can do this another way, and I'm not finished with this, the understanding of this, because another thing we can do with this, right, is we can take the top part and bring it down and just be in this situation right here. I don't know. Is it because V, right? Is it because V and V came together, right? V and V came together creating X. And what came between the V, right? What came between the V? I don't know, right? But what if they decided to put an I or a bridge between V and V? The V, right? Or if you want to take a look, just give me a second, that the V in French has a value, okay, of 22. Mirror it, we get 40, we get mirror 22. Okay, when I talk mirror 22, I have to go multiply it by 4 times, equals to 88. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiply it by 4 to equal to 88. The French say W is W equaling to 44. The English say W as U. But in Chaldean, all 3 of these become 6, 6, and 6. So I'm still trying to untangle the web. I am still trying to untangle the web inside of this. So I'm going to get back to this in a minute. So I'm still trying to understand that Y. Now, also inside the Y, right, is the question of if this was -1 and this was +1, what would I be doing here? Just give me a second. Let me put this all back. Okay, let me see if I can put this all back. So let me move this over. Just want to move this one over. Hold on a second. Okay, so now that I did this, my big question is, let me take this out, is at what point is this 1, right? Hold on a second. Like, what is the size? What size should this be? Let me see if I double this up, right? Should this be 1 area space? And you know what? I'm just going to move it out here, right? I'm going to just do that. So give me a second. So we have this area space coming here, right? And okay, we can keep it at that. And then we're going to put another one. Oh, I don't know why it came like that. I'm not happy with that. No, we're going to have to print it ourselves. So where is the next one? Let me, hold on a second. Let me do this. Okay. Now I'm going to put one here. And then I'm going to do another one. Okay, and I'm going to put one here. And then another one. And I'm going to put one here. And then another one. And put one here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes here to create this area. Could I have made it smaller? That's the question. What size should it be? I have to make it all the sizes so I can better understand the number of cells and how many cells does it take before we have a whole. Is it 3, a 3 by 3 area? Is it 1 area, or is it a 1 by 1, a 2 by 2, or a 3 by 3? Which one is it? The answer is 1, 4, and 9. But when you multiply it, right, it becomes 14, and 9 by 4 is 36. And this equals to 40. Or should it equal to 30? It should be 9 by 4, 36, plus 13, plus 1. 1 can only multiply in itself, so we have to keep it added separately. That's the way I'd like to look at this. So when we're going to go to +1 and -1, the question is, where is the 0 point? See this arrow here? Where is the 0 point? If over here, I'm just going to use the brush. I'm going to use the brush right now. if over here, not sure if you can see that. Let me, maybe in red, maybe a little bit thicker. So if I was here and here at -1 and +1, right? And +1, what area space would I have here and I have here? Would there be a separation in the center over here? Would there be a separation? Let me maybe use dark blue or something. Would there be a separation right here? Maybe I'm going to fill in my area, right? See, there's an area here and an area here. Should it be rectangular or should it be just square? Is there a center space? If there's a center space and I needed to make -1 +1, this area would be the 0. So what would it be if I went down this way? What would it be, this angle going down this way? Now, the calculator shows me that moving over left and right is only by 1s. Moving up and down is by 3s, but moving on angles changes. Although it goes from 3 over to 7, there's 4 missing. When it goes 1 over to 9, there's 8 missing. So my question is, when it goes around this center area here, and this was 1, this is 5, this is 7, no, there's an area space over here. When the numbers are touching, here they're not touching either. The ATM, they're not touching either. Over here, there's still a gap between the spaces. What should we call this gap? So we're going to ask the same question as when we put this over here. Can it be that each one of these areas, right, is 3 areas? And when we come down here, are we doing this and this over to 1 over to 9? And then when we go this way, 3 over to 7, we're going straight through, making 3 over to 7 the pole. The alpha omega going through the pole, going around the pole. The 1 over here is turning this way, if you're following what I'm saying. So I'm trying to look between 1 and -1. And here is where, and we spoke about the R, we spoke about Earth. And another thing about Earth is going to get what is the 9 area. Mars is going to get the 4 area. And it's 8 and 1 to create the Earth, even though it's a 3 by 3 area. Reason I say that is the 1 area over here with 8 around it. But at the same time, if we're talking about Venus, we're talking about 7 and then 2 areas. And we have the 7 in the center. The 7 is the true value of Earth. Earth is numeric value 52. The first planet is Mercury, 103. 7 and 4. Jesus, Muhammad, point. So these are just the questions about what goes along and what is why. But I wanted to work on this one more time. Okay, let me see if I can get this away. Okay, and what I'm going to do next with this, I'm just doing this for myself, right? I want to see what happens. I'm going to move this over, and then I'm going to copy paste, and then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to come onto this side and see what happens. So when we create this, right, we have more or less what looks like the E on one side, okay, questioning whether or not this is the I that is inside the Y. They say Y and sometimes I. Inside here, where we can see a partial or full hexagon, depending on whether or not we remove the bottom, right? I'm now going to remove it just for the fun of it, right over here, and move this over here, where it just is the Y. And now we have our full stop with no division in between, whether we're using the stand or not, right? But I'm going to stick with the stand like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to go paste and turn it over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one more time over here, copy, paste, and then we're going to flip it over here. Now, my question is, when we have this area here, can we open this up and have a passage? Can there be a passage down the center here? I just asked myself these questions, but this is what happens when we start to draw more than one Y. Y is the 25th letter in the alphabet. What else was I going to talk about? There's nobody here, and I'm really confused why nobody is here. Maybe because I'm all over the place, but that's okay. I'm just looking into my YouTube channel. For some reason is not coming up. Let me start this. Okay, well, it says 2 people or 2 likes, but okay. So what we're going to do with this next, just give me 1 second. Right. So what we're going to do next, okay, in this next piece is I want to talk about a few things. One of the things I want to talk about are the vowels. Another thing I want to talk about, okay, in which I think I'm going to jump to first, is they say on, just give me a second. Yes, we were also talking, hold on, about the steel with the letter Y, right? I just want to see the letter Y. I want to talk about the 99th day of the year, April 8th, okay, is the 99th day of the year. 92nd day of the year is April 1. Add 7 plus 7 equals to 99. Jupiter is equivalent to 99. 99 can also be flipped over to 66, and 66, okay, is a connection, is the grandfather connection. Here's 6 and here's 6. Here's number 7. It connects both 5 and 7. 5 and 7, or 5G7E, 57 GE, General Electric, Moon, General Electric, connecting 8, 7, 9. What happens is over here is number 66. When you connect the 66 with number 8, that goes right over here. See the gates look like 88. Trump is number 88. What happens? It also connects this area over here, and this is the 9th area. 8 connects to both 7 and 9, where 6 connects to both 7, 8, and 9. So we have 6 connecting to 7, 8, and 9. And we have this 6 over here connecting to 7, 8, and 9. We have number 7 connecting to both 6 and 8. The gateway is connecting to both 6 and 8. Then 8, okay, 8 is connecting to both 6 and 7. 8 connects to 6 and 7 connects to 6 and 8. This is your divided gate. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to what is 6 and 8. Mathematics. 5 and 9 are a reflection of that because the word 5 equals to 42. Jupiter is the 5th planet. It is also number 99. Inside the word Jupiter also says Earth. Inside the word Venus says Sun. Inside the word Saturn is a split up word, says rat sun, like Ratzinger. Inside the word Uranus, also saying anus, nus in sun means also ass. So that's how we rank up to this day on April 8th. 11 times 9, 911. Even when multiplied, 9 times 11, 9 plus 11 still equals 911. 11 times 9 equals 99. 11 plus 9 equals 20. 20 and 99 equals to 119 or 911. The same story goes along for the 110, which is the rooster on top of the church, right, or the towers. 110 is 11. This cube is 11, 11, 11, 7, 7, 7 is this cube over here. When we get to this date over here, all we're left over is with the 8th planet and Earth, 147. 147. We have the 8th planet and the 3rd planet. If I reversed this, I would have the 7th planet and the 2nd planet. Bait, Venus, Earth coming together with Neptune, Uranus. What is this crisscross combination? Do you know the crisscross combination of 911? The crisscross combination of 911 is, we're going to look here, 9 and 2, 11, 3 and 8, 11, 6 and 5, 11, 4 and 7, 11. Now we're going to do this one, right? 1 and 8, 9, 2 and 7, 9, 4 and 5, 9, 3 and 6, 9, Roman numeral 911, 911. The numeric value for the 2 is this, equals to 105, or 3 times 3.5 for 105. The core of this in dots is 3.5 because 5 and 2 is 7. One of these cubes, this is in minor, this is in major, this is a solid. This is, you can see it in fractals and fragments. So 5 versus 2, 7, 4 versus 3, 7, 1 versus 6, 7. 9 and 9 is 18. Take away 7 is 11. 7 come 11 of high 18. 1 center to 8, that's surround. 48 and 6 is that cube. 6 by 8, 48. So there we have our 911. This is how to understand, again, what is the shape and what size should these numbers really be, as I spoke against what the Y is. What size is it? If I was going to come and do this to where this is -1, this is +1. Where is my 0 point when this distance is longer than this distance? Where does it start? Bricks are not square. Bricks are rectangular. So how would this actually begin if this one was square? If you can follow what I'm saying with this. Another thing like that, can it be, why do I have to go a whole square? Why can't I do 2 squares here, right? And then this one, I have to get the whole line in the center. This one, I have to use the whole completion over here. I must complete the rectangle over the 2 squares because of the 2 sides divided. But here I do not. Here I'm encompassing this area. Here I'm encompassing this area. Now, if you want to know about this Y, I'm going to show you. This way is going to show me 7 over to 5. And this way is going to show me 9 over to 5. So it'll be 7, 5, 9. And then I draw down here over to 2. So if I draw this area down here, I get 9, and this area I get 11, with the 5 being my center. 2 away from one side, 4 away from the other side. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8, dividing of the 7th gate. 5 and 2 is that 7th gate. I'm assuming, I'm trying to put all these things together for a better understanding of the situation. Another thing is, Earth and Neptune are not counted in the solar eclipse coming up on the 8th of April. 3 and 8 equals to monkey. according to what I understand, if I remember correctly, is monkey not the ninth sign. According to Numbers, 38 is also club, and his 38 is also gold. Is the golden years equal to 50, being at the 50-yard line? They shortened the 5 yards off the field between the CFL and the NFL, between the 4 downs and the 3 downs, between the 4 downs and the 3 downs, between the 3 strikes and the 4 balls, between 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals to 12 and 7. 12 and 7 equals to 19. In this situation, I left out this one over here. In this situation, I left out this one over here. This one over here was the value of 1. This one over here was the value of 9. The total was 19. If I do it twice, or 1 and 9, if we want to look at it, or 19, 1 and 9, 1 and 9, 1 and 9, 57 is that moon. It is your 30 creation of 57 inside the house of bait. And it is the gateway. 3 times 19, 57. Why did I do this? When I added up the numbers, 1 and 8, 9, 2 and 7, 9, 4 and 5, 9, I had a leftover. When I did 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 11, 5 and 6, 11, I have a leftover. My leftover is 1 in one situation, 9 in the other, and that's why I did this. Everything that I do, I have to bring to a full formation, or to full understand what is the full formation. Just give me a second. I want to turn my page. Basic full formation is like this. A, B, C, D equals to 10. A1, B2, C3, D4. Now, we have A, B, C equals to 6. We have B, C, D equals to 9. 3 times 3 equals to 9. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. This is what gives us our rotation. So we live to the connected world BC equals to 5, in which AD equals to 5, and BC lives inside of AD after the death and before the Christ. It seems like we're communicating from this world, and this becomes your CB code. And your code is 10 and whichever number you want to use, 1017, right? Or we can use I don't know if they have a 1013, but I'm doing this, or 1019. I'm just trying to go through these three, and the reason for this is 1 and 6, 7, 2 and 5, 7, 3 and 4, 7. 3 times 4, 12. 3 plus 4, 7 equals to 19. 2 times 5, 10. 2 plus 5, 7 equals to 17. 1 times 6, 6. 1 plus 6, 7 equals to 13. The total is 49. 8 equals to 49. And green equals to 49. When you get married and you put it on your 4th finger, planet Mars, the ring and the pole is 48. But when you put it on the marriage part, right, Mars marriage, it is the 4th finger for Mars and the 9th finger for birth. You can look at it that way. You can look at it whichever way you want, right? And it also reverts to this. Anything with a 9 will become a 6, like 99 can now be 66. Or it's going to be 69. Now you have both sides, the birth into the gateway on day 6. So what happened on day 7? What happened on day 7? Gates, Omega divide. They divided the egg up, and God rested. This over here, okay, means east. The angels rested to the east, and it was made in its own image. Own image means every single person on this planet is not looking like God, but actually is God in their own domain, for the reason that if this was my world, I'd make everybody the way I wanted to make them. So I'd make them just like me, except I'd give them free will to think on their own with certain criteria. And on the seventh day, onto the cross they go, and everybody connects up to the same system. All central memory goes into the same system, into one mind, and comes out, is readjusted. Well, we got to the point that possibly in this world that we created in this world, and not to forget and never to lose who we are in the game world, we're also in another world. We're created in two worlds or three worlds, whichever way you want to look at it. And every night you go to bed, you wake up in a different one of those worlds. And in the fourth world is the world where it's only the minds. And only when you die from this world do the other two worlds disappear, and you go back to that one world in which other worlds are now recreated for you, because your mind can never be lost from the body you are in. Or let's look at it this way. If we have a rotating machine, I need to empty, have something filled, and have something filling as one is emptying. And we're always rotating. The minute we get to the fourth part, we're starting all over the cycle again. Box number one has operated for its second time. And that's why I call 4 the other side of the mirror world. It's sort of, and at this point, since this happens, is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So now we flipped over onto the other side, and then we do it again. We flip, and 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 we flip. We just keep flipping back and forth. Roulette is also designed that way, because every time you get to number 10, to a single digit, you flip over again. 19, 1 plus 9 is 10, is red. 10 is black. 28 is black. 37 is no longer on the board, but we also already have the formation and continuation of this cycle. And it took 36 numbers to run this cycle. And the reason it shows you what's going on is it's going on right over here. Okay, if you take a look, just let's see where my here. Take a look over here on the right. Okay, you can see it starts off with a red Y and finishes with a red X. Well, you can see in the center here, there's a Y and an X. So I have to presume that these two ends will come back together again. So I need these 36 to reflect on each other. So when do I stop? Do I stop at this X? Everything started over again. You see, my first repeat is X all the way to over here, right? And I connect it over here, these 3 over here, right? And I need these 3. This is 16, 17, and 18. And this is 19, 20, and 21. So this is my first board. But until I create multiple boards, I cannot see the reflection. So if we go from left to right, okay, the multiple boards on left to right is I create board number 1, board number 2, I see my first separation. Then board number 3, now I see a different separation. Okay, now I got 3 boards done, okay, and I see this separation is the same here, but it's not the same here. So I must create. Now when I create this one over here, I now recreated one of these, and one of these, but I didn't create 2 of these. So I need 2 of these, right? I have 1 here and 1 here and 1 here and 1 here through 3 of them. When I create this one over here, I've now created a center to these 2. So I automatically need 4 to have 1 center. Now, in order to have separation, I need to have 5. So now I have these 3 for the single separation. Now I have this one over here in between these 2 and these 2. First, I had this one in between this one and this one. Now I have 2 on this side, 2 on this side, 1 in the center. So I automatically needed 5, and that will total to 180 numbers. Now I must go north and south, bringing me much more numbers, and I have to complete the design and explain to see how many numbers we get, to understand how many seconds in a day, how many minutes in a day, how many hours are in a day, how many days before we finish a cycle. Also to note, when we understand this over here, which is me counting from 1 through 7, and then down through 1, and then over through 1, then up through 7, and down through 1. This is giving me my alphabet and my 2 different houses. Here is where your Y comes in, upside down. Do you see the Y on this side and then the Y on this side? See, I put a standing Y, the capital Y. But now if I put the small y, right? If I put the small y, I'm going to bring this camera down and take this off for a second. If I show you the smaller y, right, I'd be showing you this y over here. And then if I create the other y, I'd create the other y over here. Now we have the bottom of what is the pentagram, the bottom of what is the hexagon, the bottom what is the octagon, and we can possibly run with the A, maybe. I'm just thinking, what else can I do? What should be created within the dimension of this design? I'm just thinking a little bit. When we have the point, we talk about Mars. When we have the flat, we talk about Earth on the top part, and then we talk about Mars, because Mars gets that fine line separation, and then it gets that fine line separation. Now, another question is, if I want, can I have created that? Do you understand this? You see the 2 triangles together, the hourglasses that are running, something a little bit different. I'd have to take a look at this and see what's happening. Perhaps a balance. Just taking a look. Here's another hat, a smaller one. But anyways, we're going to get out of this. What else is in my little pack sack over here? The rotation, the 13 and 7 areas that the Mayan clock works with. And that's also something else to, if you want to look at that Mayan scenario as well. Let me just take this down. That Mayan scenario as well. Whoop, it's a little too big. Right? Is when we have 13. So what we're going to do is we're going to work off of here, right? And we're going to go 9 and 4, 13. 9 and 4, 13. Then we're going to go 7 and 6, 13. And 8 and 5, 13. At the same time, if we have that, we're going to go 1 and 6, 7. 3 and 4, 7. 5 and 2, 7. Now I missed out this part. Okay. Just let me see what I got here. 1 and 6. Then we have 7 and 9. Or maybe I should skip over the top. Where do I get that? Well, what we have also for 13 is 5 and 8, 13, right? We got the 5 and 8. Now, can we use 1 and 3 for 13? 1 and 3 to look like 13? Can we use 9 and 7 equals to 16? 1 and 6 equals to 7. So again, we had the 16, but here we're using the 1 and 6 to look like 7. So would I be doing this? You follow what I'm saying? And that would be looking like my E world in 2 different directions using the numbers 7 and 13 on side of this. This was, okay, we have this and this. We never use more than either these 2, or I'm going to use these 2, or I'm going to use 34 and 16, or those 2. The reason for that is the dice cube is going to be either sitting this way, or this way, or this way. It's either going to have 6 and 1 at the top, 4 and 3 at the top and the bottom, 5 and 2 on the top and the bottom. When the 6 and 1 are there, okay, when the 6 and 1 are there, when the 6 and the 1 are there, we're going to have the 2 and 5, and we're going to have the 4 and 3 showing up. So this one is going to be 19, and this is going to be 17. The next one, when it's going to be these two over here, this is where 1 and 6, where this one's going to be 13 on this side and 36 on this side. When this one shows up, okay, 2 and 5 are going to be in there, and we're going to have 17 on this side. This, and then in the last one, it's going to be 4 and 3, and this is going to equal to that. This is going to be this is going to be this is going to be this. While this one is going to be 13, and this one is going to be 19, equaling to 32. And this one over here is going to equal to 13, and this one here is going to equal to, how did that, I just made a mistake somewhere. Just hold on a second. It was these two, not those two. This one's equal to 17. This is going to equal to 30. So this is going to be equal to 30. This is going to be equal to 19. This one is going to equal to 36. This is going to equal to 16. Did I get this right? This is going to equal to 32. So here we're going to have 8 and 5. Here we're going to have 1 and 3. Here we're going to have 7 and 9. Okay, I'm just trying to see how this plays out. I'm trying to play out 7, 1, and 8. In the gateway of the spirit of the heavens, here is my birth and creation into the E-worlds. 13 runs through the moon. This is my gateway and birth. This is my heavens into the E-world. These two come together, and this one rules. So that means this one rules. That means the moon is ruling over here. We run by the moon cycle. 52 earth, 61 the church. 34 can be cold. 16 is the day, is the 2/3 part of the day. 25 is the earth. And the earth seems to be running through Q or through Mars. This one over here. The reason why this is Mars, this is 1/3 of 51. Numeric 51 is for Mars. Now, I'm not sure if you think I make any sense or not. We did this. Yeah, so I just wanted to speak about one last thing with that, with the lunar eclipse that's coming that I brought up a couple of minutes ago. Okay, is that Neptune and Earth, we're running into the communication cycle. We're coming back to the monkey. We're coming back to the gold. Maybe it can be the controlling station. 3 and 8 is represented right over here. This is your 3 and 8. 11. This is all about 11, this cube over here. The reverse of these two are the 10, 10. You can see this is 11. How is this 11? As I spoke, all opposite sides with this cube are 7. All opposite sides, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you flip it over, you get another 9 is 18. And then you take away 7 or 7. So once you do that, taking away 7, you get 11, 11, 11. The greatest number you can ever get on this cube is 7. And it happens twice. This 1 in the center and 6 on the side, on 2 sides when you drill holes. I drill, 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 and then drill this one up. So I'll poke through 14. So I'll get 7 and 7, which is the matter of Christ power point, right? 7 and 7, 14. Otherwise, it's 5 times 4, equaling to 20, equaling to 14. The total is 34. The cube in control. However you turn it, I think it's a 20/20 turn in order to bring this back to its own perfection. The only reason it's not a full 24 turn, okay, is because it's already on an area of its own. That's what I'm thinking about, because every time I see somebody finish this, they say it's 20 turns to get it done in most part. So in the last part, what it is that planets 8 and 3 will come together, and we're not going to have any of the other planets. So the other planets equal to 25 plus 11, we're not going to count Pluto. If we did count Pluto, we would end up with the total of 20 here and the total over here of, did I get it? Hold on a second. The total over here of 3, 7, 12, 18 of 25 be 25 and 11 or 25 and 20. That's what we'd be coming up here. So when we get these coming up here, we're now going to look for the void in these planets. I'm going to show you what I mean. Venus, okay, is going to be 2 and 7. Mars is going to be 4 and 5. Jupiter is going to be 5 and 4. Saturn is going to be 6 and 3. We're not going to use Neptune. Mercury is going to be 1 and 8. Do we get them all now? Uranus, is going to be 7 and 2. So we're going to have Venus and Uranus coming together, Mars and Jupiter coming together. So we have 2, 4. Just got to see which ones I missed out on. Just give me a second. Mercury is going to be in confrontation with Neptune. Earth is going to be in confrontation with Saturn. Why I say that, the third planet and the eighth planet in the void, meaning there's a voided area over here, right? It's going to be in the void. If it was this way, right, Earth is going to end up over here, right? Sorry, Saturn, if it's Saturn ends up over here. When it's this way, Saturn is now in the void. So that means this dice cube has to be sitting this way for it to be in the void. So either the 5 is up or the 2 is up. And in this situation, both the 5 and the second planet and the fifth planet are there for 7. Mars is not there. There is no 4 and 3, 7 because the Earth planet is not included in this alignment. So that 7 is not included. The 2 and 5 is included. The 3 and 4 is not included in that setup. The 2 and 5 is. The 3 and 4 is not. I'm just trying to see what other planets, the 3 and 4, the 1 and the 6 are. So it's not running off of that. Do you see what I'm saying? The 1 and the 6 are in alignment. The first planet and the sixth planet, that's 7. The fifth planet and the second planet is. Mars is not. Mars is not. I'm just trying to see. Jupiter is with Venus. I'm just trying to see what's missing. We have 6, right? I'm only using 4. What's missing? Neptune is 7 within its own, and Pluto is not in there. They're not counting Pluto. Sorry, Uranus. So that would have to be Uranus 7 minus what would equal to 7? 0. So Uranus has to be counting with the sun at this point. Now, if we're reaching the 7th gate, now if we want to reach the number 9, we already have the void 9 within itself. If we want to reach the number 4, right, we're going to have to find 5 minus 1 and 4, 6 minus 2 is 4. Why I say this, I'm going to explain it to you. The 1, the 4, and the 7 are the planet of, or what I understand is the planet of alignment. The 147, or 6 times 21, which would be 6 of these cubes. 6 times 20, 7 times 21, sorry. 7 by 21, the 7 cubes. 1 month, 4 months of 30 days, 7 months of 31 days. The 1 month is the Valentine's. We have it in the leap year. Everything runs off of this. The pigs, everything runs by the 3s. 3 by 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Now, if we do this by 2, we get 2. If I do this times 2, we get 8. If I go this times 2, I get 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So times 1, it's itself. Times 2, it becomes this area. Times 3, it becomes this area. Times 4, it comes back to its own. The same thing with 2. Times 1, 2 is in its own. Times 2, it comes over here. Times 2, 2 times 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Times 2, 2 times 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So times 2, I go here. Times 2, I go here. So it creates an X. It creates 999, 999, and 9. Times 3, it says 6. Times 3, it's 15. 1 and 5 is 6. Sorry, times 3 is 6. Times 3 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. So when I multiply this by 3, it doesn't come back here. It doesn't go all over here. It all goes towards the 6. When I multiply it by 4, it comes back into its own. When I multiply it by 5, it's the only time it comes into this area. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. 5 times 8 is 40. 4 plus 0 is 4. When I multiply this one by 1, it remains its own. When I multiply it by 2, it starts inverting in itself. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 6, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 times 9, 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 comes back into itself, and 6 and 3 invert within each other. This is how the numbers work. When I multiply it by 3, everything is 9. When I multiply it by 4, it goes back to the same thing. 4 by 3 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 4 by 6 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 4 by 9 is 36. 3 and 6 is 9. Anything multiplied by 9 will always equal to 9. Anything multiplied by 3, 6, or 9 will always go back to 9. 6 times 6, 36. 3 and 6 is 9. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. I go by 7. Same thing as over here. Once I go by 7, okay, it does the same thing as 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Now, when I jump to 7, 7 times 3 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 7 times 6 is 42. 4 and 2 is 6. When I go to 8, this one becomes 6. 8 by 3, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 8 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6. 8 by 3 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. So 2 and 8 do the same thing, and the same thing is the cycle of the moon. 8 by 6 is 48. 4 and 8 is 3. So they both come back into 3 in this situation. Sorry, this goes into 3, this goes into 6. The same thing as 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 8 by 6 is 48. 4 and 8 is 12. 2 and 8 come back to the same. So the numbers talk to each other, and then every single letter has a position, a numeric position in the alphabet, and there's multiple ways of counting the alphabet. I can also shift all my numbers over. I can take this entire cube and multiply it by 1, everything stays the same. If I multiply it by 2, I put 2 in this position. If I multiply this by 2, it becomes 1. If I multiply this cube by 2, this becomes 2, this becomes 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 5 is the reverse of 2 and 6. The Queen and Mars come together. It creates what is the connection between the electric moon and the perfect flowing cycle of 5775, or 77 times 75. Power, Christ, matter. 75, electric. 57, moon. 57 will complete, or 5 and 7 is going to connect through what is 66. That is the woman known to be Mother Nature, to be known to be the earth. And it connects the moon, the 5 and 7, and 7 and 5. So 77 times 75, or 75 times 75, plus 75, plus 75, equals to what is 5775. Also to note that that when you have 1, when you add 1 through 5, it equals to 15. When you add 2 through 6, it equals to 20, 20, 15. The letters are T, O, G, L. I'm not sure if you want to put it to toggle, but just leave it at that. Now, I think 43 by 47 equals to this number, 711. 77, 711, 77, and 18, 95. It's talking about Jupiter, where the two gateways meet now at Earth. 6 times 3 is that Earth coming to meet. This over here is, let me see what this is again. I'm just trying to remember what that other number was. Just give me the second. There's another calculation. 1155. That comes in through this one over here. 385. Again, that comes into this. There's another number. I think I'm not really sure what that number is. But irregardless, times 13 moons equals to 75,075. When you multiply and add, it equals to 35 and 12, equaling to 47, equaling to time. 47 by 43 is the year 2015. Time out. 12, 12, or 33. 7 and 5 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3, 33. It becomes, we come to a time of formation. And number 84, or the 8th of April, the 4th month, is 3 times 28, which is another cycle. It's another moon cycle in this situation that comes complete on the 99th day. 3 by 33 is also to the 3 by 33 void inside of this cube, to what is equivalent to what is the third moon cycle completed. 28, 28, 28, 28, 112. What is the halfway point? Remember, when the moon cycle moves, it's not the full 28 that moves. It's 14 and 7 and 7 and 14 and 14 and 7. The globe around this is 6 and 5 and 1 and 2 for 14. It's 4 and 6 and 3 and 1 for 14. And it's 2 and 4, 5 and 3 and 2 and 4 for 14. There's always going to be 3 different ways, actually 6 different ways, but you're just flipping the 6 upside down to the 1. Okay. Anyways, we're going to end the video now. I want to really thank you for being here, whoever's going to come here. I'm not sure if I left anything out, and I'm quite sure I did leave something out. One of the pieces was in roulette, everything is rectangular in numbers. What is this in here? Where the X's are is where these empty spaces are. So what we're going to see is 4, 8, 12, 16. What we're going to see in here is 4, 8, 12, 16. So this would be 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 49. So where was that mistake? Look at that. 16 and 16, correct? 16 and 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. You can also see 3, 8, 8, 3, which is also the same thing coming into the formula. Here, what is missing with this? Why are we only seeing 16 and 16? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 16 and 16 is 32. There are 15 missing, unless I'm really seeing things wrong. Or we have 3, 5 is 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Do I have that? 3, 6, 9, 12 plus 15 is 27. Wow, that's the way Venus house comes in. And in this one over here, I have 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 10, 20, 10, 20, 33. Here I have 33, and here I have 27. I'm trying to see if I got that right. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 4, 4, 4. Why am I seeing something different here than I am here? The 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I'm only seeing 16 over here. So why am I saying that? What am I looking at Here, I'm counting it when they're in the O. Anyways, to get to the next part, if you notice, I use O's and X's. And both the O is the 15th letter and the X is the 24th letter, equals to 6, equals to 6. Otherwise, I'm just connecting with straight lines. That's where I get my X from. That's where your 66 comes in. Anyways, I'm talking over myself right now. There are pieces that I left out, and I wanted to talk about the vowels A, E, I, O, and U. I also wanted to talk about if it's 0-100 hours now, then I would go between, what is 0-100 hours? I'd say, well, it's between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Or between, take off 3 hours, it'll be 9 o'clock on one side, 3 o'clock on the other side. West Coast to East Coast to West Coast, mid-central. That's the way I would be counting it. The other thing I would also count is 4 a.m. is 240 minutes. Can we count that also as 24 hours? Or if we have 4 a.m., think of this. I need to get 360 degrees. I don't have 360 degrees. I only get it at 6 a.m. This is 4 times 6 hours. This is where 10 comes in. Why does 10 come in here? 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. So I must add all these up. 240, 420, 520, 540, 600. I have to add up 600 inside of this over here. What I'm trying to get to right now is trying to understand when I come into the mirror here, what is happening over here. In minutes, what's happening in seconds, to understand what goes on during the day. Because life is based on the creation of 6 days and the 1 day of rest. And I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm not sure if I spoke about, in French, they say double V. In English, they say W. This will create 16 and 8. This will create 8 and 6, dividing the 7th gate. Over here, this one divides the night and the day. When you put these two together, it works in thirds. Earth works in thirds. When you use this one over here, Earth works at the 7th gate for the 7 days a week. We work at the 24 hours a day. Mars works in these numbers over here, 8 and 16. 4, 8, and 16. As well, Earth. How can I explain this? Earth is number 52. So what I have is one area here and one area here. Mars is 51. So I just work it this way. So Mars gets 2 by 2. Earth gets 3 by 3. And that's my 55 freedom between Earth and Mars. Between Mars doing this over here and Earth, this one over here. Mars gives you life, and in Earth, life is divided. A is a divided letter. Gets divided just like that. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. You want to take a look at the ceiling. Whoop. Let me see if I can put it right out there. Sean, how you doing? Sean, Jacob. Then another brick on the wall. Let me see. Okay. Cheerio.